So before you start, you need to load the plugin. So we need to go to edit and then plugins and then search for motion design. You can see I already checked that on and it's experimental, so you may have bugs when you work on it. So after that you need to restart Unreal Engine, and after that you can go to the selection mode and change that to motion design. And another important step you need to do, if you come over here, you can see we have the button called motion design, and this is really weird. So basically what this does, it prepares the Unreal Engine editor for using for motion design. So if you click on that, so basically it opens some windows like the motion design outliner. This works like the Cinema 4D outliner. If you are familiar with Cinema 4D, basically you can assign tags and add effectors. And we have the outliner. This is the Unreal Engine standard outliner. And we have the operator stack, we have the modifiers, and we have animators. We don't see anything when I click on them because we didn't create anything yet. So the weird part is, so if you go to the window, you can see we have the motion design outliner, right? And if I go ahead and close that and go ahead again, and I can open it, all right? But if you click on that, and now I can close the editor. So if I click yes, this will close the editor for motion design. And the weird part is, if I go to window, I don't see the outliner. So you need to click on the motion design. And now if I go to window, you can see we have the motion design outliner is here. So I don't know, they may change that in the future, but for now we're gonna use it as it is. So just I wanted to show you this because I think it's important. So if you click by mistake here and close everything, and when you go there you may not see the outliner there. So anyway, and sometimes I get a bug, so Unreal Engine crashes when I click on motion design. So basically I closed Unreal Engine and I restarted the PC and it worked fine. So here you see we have the 2D shapes, we have 3D shapes, we have actors, like creating a spline actor. Basically this allows you to make the objects or the mesh follow a curve. We have the text, this will create the text. We're gonna cover everything. We have the mesh, like creating cube, cylinder, sphere. So here we have the 2D shapes like the rectangle. So if I click on that and click somewhere here and drag, you can see I created a rectangle. And by default, when you open the motion design editor, some options will be checked on by default, for example the snapping and the grid. So if you click on that, you can see I can see the red grid. I turned them off before I record this lesson. So if you didn't see this one, you can come over here and click on the grid. And we have the ring, you can click and drag. If you hold shift, this will lock the ratio. And you can come over here and click and create a line. You can create an arrow. So the first thing you will notice, everything is flat because this is a 2D. And if I go ahead and rotate the camera, you can see it's flat and I don't have any lights in the viewport. There is easy way to create the lights. If you come over here, you can click on create defaults. Basically this will create the direction light, skylight, and post-process volume for you, and the camera too. So if I click on spawn and you come to the outliner, you can see we have the sky and the camera, and now I am inside the camera and I can't rotate the camera because it's locked. So if you want to go to the perspective now, you need to come over here and click on stop piloting, and now I am in the perspective view. If you want to go back, you can come over here and click on the camera. The reason I can't go to the perspective view by using this camera, because if you go to the motion design, you can see we have the lock button. If you click on that once to unlock it, then you can rotate the camera, but I'm gonna leave it locked for now. And now if I go ahead and change that to lit, now the shapes will cast shadows. This is useful when you want to create 3D shapes. And we can create the text too. So let's go to actors and click on text and select the text, and we can come over here to the details and change the text. For example, we can set that Unreal Engine, and here we have it. So now in order to extrude the text or the shapes, so if you click on the Unreal Engine text, if you scroll down, you can see we have the extrude button. This extrude button is just for the text. We don't have the extrude for the shapes. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a moment. So now if I go to the perspective, you can see I extruded the text, but it still looks flat. The reason is you need to scroll. Let's see, where is the unlit button? There is unlit button here. So here you see we have the checkbox is unlit. We're gonna turn it off. So now it looks 3D. I think this is on by default, because when you are creating motion graphics in 2D canvas, you don't need to make it 3D. Maybe that's why they added this option here, is unlit. And if you want to extrude these shapes, you need to come to the operator stack and click on add modifier and click on extrude. And now we extruded that. And this one to add extrude. We're gonna take a look at everything, so don't worry for now. Just I am giving you an overview of the motion designer in Unreal Engine. And another new feature they added in 5.4 is the sequence. So you can have multiple sequences here and you can play them all at the same time. So if you have multiple sequences, you can play the first one, and after the first one is finished, Unreal will play the second one. So now the sequencer is saved in the level, and you can export that. If you want to export that, you can right click and export the sequencer. You remember before you can create the sequencer and it saved in the content browser, but now it's in the level. And if you want to save it in the content browser, you can right click and choose export. So in the next lesson, we're gonna continue.